So I brought this up just to give you an example of what a feature benefit statement is that all of you should have, and Realty Executives has that, and you can just adopt theirs. You can take theirs and add on to it for what separates you specifically in the marketplace, so that when we are going through our presentation, when you're in front of the top recruits, we can start eliminating Keller Williams and Remax and the other companies without even really mentioning them, because when we lay this out effectively, we'll set it up so nobody can match these. These are your differentiators. Nobody else has this. And that's really, really important for you to have that specifically nailed down. And it's important to know what that is, so that when you're out and about and somebody says, hey, Stu, what separates you from the rest? We don't have to go look for our PowerPoint. This should be deep within us. Same with our values and our purpose. So you can eliminate your recruits' options, right? People have a hard time making decisions. Let's help them in their decision-making process. Let's start eliminating those options for them. Identifying your ideal executive. Before recruiting, you need to identify the qualities and benchmarks that you want in your agent. It's not always the highest producer in the area, because sometimes you don't want them. They may just be too compromising in some aspect. But in generally, we want to look at their performance. But I would say two areas to focus on. Number one are seasoned top performers, and number two, the up-and-comers. We want to have a blend on the team, right? We want to find the ones that are loaded with potential, and you want to have the stars on there as well. So those are two great pools to draw from. You need to select top 3 profiles, either within your company, or if you don't like the results, or you want to raise the bar from the executives you have within your office, come from the region. There are plenty of top performers in here. Talk with Ken. Look at those diamond reports and your top achievers, and let's study them. I hear there's a hot shot guy who's been in business 18 months that's just really smoking it. Well, gosh, let's find out some of his characteristics. That's an up-and-comer. That's huge. He's defying all the odds. It doesn't matter what the market's doing. It's what you're doing within the market that makes the difference. We need to find out, how are those people wired? Let's pick the top 3 profiles and go find them in your market. They are out there. And I have an ideal agent form if you're interested in that, or I've got Smart Recruiting series that you can dig into. So we want to tackle them. Now, before we tackle them or approach them, we need to put a plan in place so that when you make that initial call, a lot of the selling has already taken place. And I want to roll out with you a 6-step marketing plan and give you the concepts, and we're going to offer a webinar that you can jump in on to help connect the dots on that. There's 6 steps in marketing to your ideal candidate, and the first one is an option for them to contact you, that you want to share the secrets of your success. And I want to share with you an example, and we'll talk more about this in this webinar preview. But the whole concept here is video voicemail. What that will require for all of you to do is get a video flip phone. And the reason we want to use video is because video is the way of the future. People are looking at video. It also creates a celebrity status for you, because anytime somebody sees something in video, you're already elevated to celebrity or stardom. And one of the keys we want to do is they want to attach themselves to a star. And so it takes a little bit of effort and organization. You might need some help with this. But it's to send out a 6-step video email campaign in advance of the ask that you can roll through in the drip to your selected group. We have all of the scripts in place, and you may want to modify them. And by the way, let me just, before I roll through this, I understand that everyone's business model is different. I want to share with you the concept that is ideal to really get you to that place, and especially if some of you are also selling as well as you're working your own book of business as well as needing to recruit, and you're looking at your time element. Ultimately, I think most of you would want to get to the point where you have a team that handles all of your transactions, and not all of you may, and there's no judgment call there, but I think most of you would probably want to be at that point where you have the office where you're just the broker with the top producers in there. And if that's your case for most of you, this is an excellent program to roll through. If some of you are, hey, listen, I've got my own book of business, I'm running mostly that, and that's my focus, listen and see the pieces you can put in place. You can modify this for you. It doesn't mean you go down this exact track. The concept here, however, is for those primarily who want to build that office where you've got the top performers there and you're primarily in a broker role. Video voicemail with a targeted approach will start leading your prospects to the conclusion that you are the broker they want to attach them to. And I want to give you an example to you if you want to see a sample of that. And we'll have a webinar preview for you that you can learn a little bit more about this concept. The key is we're going to send a series of videos out that are planned. You can make the adjustments for you and your message that you want to roll out, but you're going to convey the secret to your success in the first video. There's a process here. So we're also going to give them an option to contact you. Let's go to the second one. The second step the delivery of your secret. So we're going to talk to them about the secret of the success, of your success. Then we're going to talk about the delivery of it. You're actually going to share it. This is all scripted out. It's a matter of you practicing in front of the camera, not being camera shy. And let's not see, we're already kind of holding ourselves back when we think about this. You have a lot to offer. You can give your specifics on there. The third step, and again, you're going to roll this out either once a week, every 3 or 4 business days. You can rotate this probably once a week, maybe again, every 2 to 3 business days. We can adjust that. The inspirational environment. So what we're talking about here in the gist on that message is, oh, by the way, something I didn't share with you. And this alludes to Ken and what he was speaking about having fun. This has to relate with being in a successful office. Somebody mentioned earlier about what they're looking for, supportive, successful energy, something to pull from. This is what we're talking about. We're painting the picture of the impossibility. We also want to talk about the fact that they need somebody to watch, an example to follow. You've got to make sure you're that example you want them to follow. This is good accountability for you to shore this up. They need to be inspired, be willing to be inspired by somebody that will be sharing their method and system. And then you'll have a questionnaire attached, and we actually have that all set up for you. Step 4, the fourth video would be that most caring brokers, the concept here, are toughest on you. So what this is ruthless self-examination. And what I'm talking about is some of the stuff I did with you when we say ruthless. It's not brutal, it's not with a big stick, but it's how are you doing? Where can we be better? They really want that. You know, it's kind of like with children, and we don't want to equate our executives as children. We're the parent. But there's similarities. For example, the reality with kids, teenagers, they want boundaries. There was a TV show that we were watching. My wife's a school teacher, and she deals with all this dysfunctionality that just doesn't need to be there with kids based on how they're being parented. And the reality is kids want boundaries. Kids want to know what I can and can't do. They actually respond to that better because you love them. You want them to be better. Now, it's a little bit of a difference with your executives, but the reality is if they're sitting there floundering, not working on their disciplines, for the fact that you care, if you build a relationship like Stu's doing, checking in where and how you're doing, he's getting permission to speak into their life and say, John, you know, you committed to doing that daily prospecting. I haven't seen you do that. You are committed to those goals, right? It's not browbeating them over, but it's helping them to stay on track. Most of us lack discipline. But it's the broker caring enough to speak into the life and share with them what's true in all aspects, whether it's real estate, the business world, or sports world. No pain, no gain. Right? John, you want to get there, but you're not doing the steps to make that happen. How do you expect to get there? It's also accountability for success. It's about somebody who's not willing to let them fail. John, I got to tell you, before you sign on and come into this office, I want to let you know, if you have a commitment to succeed, I have a commitment to keep you from failing. That's my job. You'd be willing to do that. Again, you can adjust your message. I recommend going down this road because this is what they want you to go. And if you're saying, gosh, I haven't been this, become it. Become the broker like we're talking about here. Someone that's not willing to let you feel attaches their success to yours. There's another question. They're going to ask you, in there we're going to have the questions that the other brokers aren't asking them for their business growth. Now you're separating yourself from the other broker. Step 5, let me guess you're a good producer. First of all, good isn't good enough. There's a lot of people running around that think they're doing good, that another adjustment in the market can take them out. No one's talked to them about the brutal facts of their business and practice and what's going on. I can give you a list of all the questions asked that will riddle holes into their business to start getting them thinking that maybe they're not as good as they are. And that's a good thing. Their broker isn't asking those questions for them. You might as well. Even if they don't come to you, you're creating value for them. You're putting something in your mind, in their mind, that you are different. They think they're a good producer, but they're capped out. They have a lid on them. You need to show and discuss about removing that lid and helping them to become the best that they can be. And you need to show that in your company you've shown that it can be done. That's kind of the message of step 5. The 6th one is preparing for the initial contact. So now you've done this multi-step process. Now we're getting ready to contact you. John, I'll be contacting you soon. We'll have this in place. You want to kind of check in with them to see what they're doing every day to make sure all the things that you shared is actually happening with them. Now there's follow-up. There's accountability. You're going to talk about ruthless time management. There are no time wasters. I will tell you, if we're struggling with time, we need to change that right now. Time is your most precious commodity. We've all woken up one day older. You remember yesterday I said you all look younger? Yeah, you look older today. You're a day older than you were yesterday. Man, either it was a really hard night or something. Hard, long night. The reality is we're a day older, right? Time lost, never regained, cannot be regained back. So you need to show them that you're focused on time. This is all video, so each one has this is the message on each one. That you're going to send. You're going to have to take the pain to create them. You're going to have to practice getting good. We have the scripting for it. You can make the modifications or adjustments. You want it to kind of look somewhat like the one that was given there. But these are the themes of each one. They build on each other. We can show you how this webinar that we're going to offer will show you this. Now you're getting ready for initial contact. What have you done? You've done all the steps we've shown that you can become the broker they want you to, that they're looking for.
So this is all for our first call.
Yeah, now we're going to make the initial, now we'll make.
So this is a warm call, it's not a cold call.
At this point, absolutely. You've created so much value for them. People will, the statistics show, they don't want to read email contact, they want to look at videos. They're obsessed. Look at YouTube. People are obsessed with videos. Get on the bandwagon, jump on board. Video, email, video voicemail is the way of the future. Get comfortable with it. You're going to show them that you're laser focused on marketing and the disciplines. You're doing that prior to your initial contact.